Good afternoon, everyone. I am Joshua J. Sotosa Jr., currently connected at Bawa National High School, Schools Division Office of Cagayan, Cagayan Valley Region 2. I am here to present to you my research proposal entitled Evaluating the AVM Work Immersion Program in Gonzaga District towards the development of an experiential learning-based curriculum model. For the rationale and significance of the study, the K-12 educational reform in the Philippines introduced the senior high school work immersion program to better prepare learners for the realities of employment, entrepreneurship, or further education. For the ABM, this immersion is critical in translating classroom-based knowledge into applicable business competencies. However, despite its intent, the current implementation of the ABM Work Immersion Program, particularly in districts such as Gonzaga, reveals significant gaps. Reports from stakeholders indicate a misalignment between immersion tasks and ABM learning objectives, limited participation from industry partners, and the lack of reflection and synthesis of learning experiences. These observations reflect broader concerns raised in national studies by Saluria and Marino 2021 and Guadalupe 2024, underscoring that while immersion has the potential to boost employability and skills development, the absence of structured, meaningful, and reflective learning experiences undermines its impact. This study is anchored in Kolb's experiential learning theory, which asserts that learning is a cyclical process involving concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. Applied in the ABM work immersion context, this theory provides a pathway to design experientially rich and pedagogically sound activities that encourage deeper engagement, reflection, and application. Further, Becker's human capital theory reinforces the premise that investments in education, especially when skills are aligned with industry demands, yield long-term economic and individual benefits. Therefore, the study aims not only to evaluate the current program but also to design an experiential learning-based curriculum model that integrates the academic, personal, and professional development goals of ABM students. This research holds significant value for various stakeholders and aligns directly with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. As a researcher, I aim to contribute meaningfully to SDG 4 quality education by proposing an improved ABM work immersion model that promotes active, student-centered learning and bridges the gap between academic knowledge and practical application. Through this, I hope to enhance the quality, relevance, and inclusivity of senior high school education. In support of SDG 8, the study seeks to align immersion experiences with industry-relevant competencies, ultimately preparing students for future employment, entrepreneurship, and skills development. Furthermore, by fostering innovative approaches to curriculum design and strengthening school-industry collaboration, the study advances SDG 9. It also supports SDG 17, Partnership for the Goals, as the research emphasizes the importance of collaboration among educators, industry partners, policymakers, and local communities in developing responsive educational programs. Students will directly benefit from more meaningful and career-relevant immersion experiences that are integrated with their academic learning. Teachers and school leaders will gain valuable insights and practical tools for designing and assessing experiential learning activities in a real-world settings. Industry partners will be more effectively engaged in the educational process, helping develop future-ready workers while contributing to sustainable community growth. And finally, curriculum developers and policymakers will be equipped with evidence-based recommendations that can inform the enhancement and standardization of work immersion programs in the diverse context. For the research objective and statement of the problem, this study seeks to evaluate the ABM Work Immersion Program in the Gonzaga District and propose an experiential learning-based curriculum model. It aims to answer the following questions. 1. How effective is the current ABM work immersion program in developing relevant industry-related competencies among senior high school students? 2. What challenges are encountered by students, teachers, and partner institutions in the implementation of the work immersion program? 3. How aligned are existing immersion practices with Kolb's experiential learning theory? And 4. What components should be integrated into an experiential learning-based curriculum model for ABM immersion? For the conceptual framework, I begin by examining the current work immersion program implementation, which serves as the foundation of the study. At this stage, I analyze how the program is currently being executed in the ABM strand within the Gonzaga district. Next, I look into stakeholder perceptions and implementation challenges. Here, I gather insights from students, teachers, and industry partners to understand their views on the program's strengths and weaknesses. This helps identify any gaps or barriers affecting the success of the implementation. Following this, I proceed to the assessment of alignment with experiential learning, specifically using Kolb's experiential learning model. This theoretical lens allows me to evaluate whether the program provides meaningful, hands-on learning experiences that truly prepare students for a real-world work environment. Once I gather the findings, I move into the processing stage, where I reflect on the data, gather feedback, and promote collaboration among stakeholders. This stage is essential because it provides the groundwork for refining and improving the immersion experiences. Finally, the output of this entire process is the development of an experiential learning-based ABM curriculum model. My goal is to propose a model that strengthens the practical learning of students and ensure better alignment with both academic goals and industry needs. For the research design, I aim to evaluate and enhance the ABM work immersion program by examining its effectiveness, challenges, theoretical alignment, and potential for curriculum improvement. To address the first research question on how effective the program is in developing industry-related competencies among senior high school students, I will collect data from the students, teachers, and industry partners using surveys and interviews. I will utilize structured questionnaires and interview guides and analyze the data through descriptive statistics and thematic analysis. For the second question, which focuses on the challenges faced in the implementation of the program, I will conduct focus group discussion and interviews with students, teachers, and partner institutions. Thematic analysis will be used to interpret the qualitative data collected through FGD protocols and semi-structured interview guides. The third question explores the alignment of current practices with Kolb's experiential learning theory. I will gather data from the teachers, immersion coordinators, and industry partners through document analysis, interviews, and observations. The instruments include curriculum documents, immersion activity records, observation checklists, and interview guides, which will be analyzed during or using content analysis and an experiential learning alignment matrix. Lastly, to identify components for an improved experiential learning-based curriculum model, I will consult curriculum experts, teachers, senior high school coordinators, and industry partners. Data will be collected through interviews, focus groups, and curriculum reviews using appropriate instruments like interview guides, FGD protocols, and assessment rubrics. The findings will be analyzed through thematic analysis, curriculum mapping, and model development analysis. This comprehensive research design ensures that all aspects of the current work immersion program are thoroughly examined to propose a more relevant and effective curriculum framework for ABM students. For the proposed curriculum model, in developing an experiential learning-based curriculum model for the ABM Work Immersion Program, I am guided by the four core principles: learner-centeredness, industry relevance, theory to practice alignment, and reflective learning. First, I prioritize learner-centeredness to ensure that the immersion experience addresses the actual needs, interests, and learning styles of ABM students. This approach empowers them to take an active role in their own learning and development. Second, I consider industry relevance as a critical factor to make sure that the program aligns with the real-world business practices and expectations, thus improving students' employability and workplace readiness. Next, I incorporate theory to practice alignment to bridge academic knowledge with actual work experiences. By applying theoretical business concepts in a real-world settings, students develop a deeper understanding of the competencies expected of them. Lastly, I emphasize reflective learning as a key component of Kolb's experiential learning theory. Through structured reflection, feedback, and collaboration, students process their experiences more meaningfully, leading to continuous improvement and personal growth. For the ethical considerations, as a responsible researcher, I will strictly adhere to the ethical guidelines set by the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Open University System, particularly those implemented through its University Research Ethics Committee. To ensure compliance, I will accomplish and submit the required ethical documents. Prior to the data gathering phase, I will formally seek permission from the school principal, followed by coordination with the administrative and disciplinary office to facilitate the smooth and authorized conduct of the study. Once approvals are secured, I will proceed with the floating of questionnaires to the identified participants, ensuring that the instruments are aligned with the research objectives and responsive to the evolving demands of the business industry. This research will remain dynamic, industry relevant, and reflective of real world business practices to enhance its practical value and contribution to ABM education. In conducting this study, I will make it sure that I uphold the rights and dignity of all participants. Informed consent will be obtained from each respondent, clearly outlining the purpose, procedures, and voluntary nature of their participation. No participant will be coerced. Voluntary involvement will be emphasized at all times. I will also guarantee confidentiality and anonymity throughout the research process. All data will be securely stored with access strictly limited to authorized personnel, and no personally identifying information will be disclosed in any report, publication, or presentation. By following these ethical standards, I aim to foster transparency, integrity, and respect for all individuals involved in this research endeavor. That would be all. Thank you and good afternoon.